on, y'all? It's your boy Darkstar, and I'm here with my boy Johnny, and we got some shit to unpack for y'all, dude. We really got to unpack this shit. I don't know. You think they're ready for it, Johnny?
I'm not sure I am, but we're gonna do it anyway.
Yeah. You know what? Fuck it. Let's just get it the fuck over with because it's woo. It's, it's a lot to unpack over here, man. It's a lot.
So the thing is, with me, I'm a huge defender of Rob Liefeld as an artist. Rob Liefeld as a person can be abrasive. Rob Liefeld as a person can be a little egotistical,
Yeah.
and he's been known to say some controversial stuff that isn't always agreed with by too
Right.
terribly many people.
Right. And we're definitely gonna go ahead and get into that shit. Just before we really unpack this shit, I gotta cue the intro, dude. Give me a minute. Cue the intro. All right. Now let's get into this shit. Just and before we really unpack it, we need to kind of we need to kind of show who Rob Liefeld is, just to remind people. And again, this is no dig at Rob Liefeld. I'm just gonna want to make y'all understand that this is no dig at him because look, man, Rob Liefeld is is definitely one of my favorite artists. Give me a minute. Let me. Oh shit! Hang on, I fucked this up. Hold on. Wait, I'm gonna get into it in just a second. Let me see. There we go. Let me post. Give you guys an idea of what we're talking about with Rob Liefeld. Hang on. So, well, some people know Rob Liefeld for this infamous drawing of Captain America. I'm gonna pull it up right now. Give me a minute. I gotta switch screens. Give me a second. Because it was like right when I did it, it tried to pull up a whole different screen. Give me a minute. Oh shit! Hang on. Every time I do this shit, it always acts freaking retarded. So hold on. Why can I not just? Why can you not just give me like? Give me a second. I hate when it does that. Alright. Yeah, no, don't mind me. I'm having technical difficulties because I suck at this shit. Here we go. So this is what he's most famous for is for that Captain America picture where it looks like he's got the double chest. And ever since that picture came out, every artist likes to joke around and say, "Oh, Rob Liefeld can't fucking draw and shit like that." And I always got to give some pushback that every artist has their good days and their bad days, man. You know?
Yeah, and the thing is with this drawing is like the reason I say it looks like a triangle is because the chest is going one way and the back is going the other way. And the thing is, as an artist, either one of these would have been fine, but when he did both, that's what made it not make sense. So if you were to imagine where all that back shoulder is, if you were to just cut it off, take the neck straight into the shoulder line, and
Yeah,
make it look like he's standing one way, it works. Versus if you were to go the other way, keep the back and remove the second half of the chest, once
yeah,
again, it works. And like that's one of the problems with me as an artist is I'll look at one part and be like, "Oh, that's good." I'll look at another part and be like, "Oh, that's good." And I'll never put together that they're not good together.
right. Because even I'm looking at it, I'm like, if he hadn't added the second part of the chest, it would have been really it would have been a decent would have been a decent drawing. Again, but just had to show that picture off. But just he's also known for creating characters. He's known for creating Deadpool. He's known for creating Deadpool and Cable, if I'm not mistaken. Right? It was both Deadpool and Cable.
Absolutely, Cable. Yeah.
Yes, because I'm like
Cable is too big.
Yes, because Cable was definitely one of my favorite fucking mutants. He was one of my favorite characters fucking growing up, dude. Anytime I saw a book with Cable, I was like, bro, I gotta read this shit. Because Cable is the fucking shit. I don't give a fuck what any of you guys say, man. Cable is a fucking force to be reckoned with. Just saying. Gotta put that out there. Like, he's not a character to be fucked with. Like, the only reason Cable is not as powerful as like X-Man is just because of the techno-organic virus. If it wasn't for that damn virus and it fucking up his arm, he would run amok in the Marvel universe. He would put Magneto to shame. Just had to put that out there. But anyway, yeah, he's mostly known for creating Deadpool, and apparently now there's some shit going down with where Rob Liefeld was talking about how Marvel treats their creators. Am I getting it? Is there echo? Is that you?
Sorry, what was that?
Is that you? Getting a little bit of an echo in the background. I don't know if that's you or if it's me.
It was probably me. Sorry about that. I was pulling up a quick interview to back up a point that's being made, and this is an interview with the late great Neil Adams, where he said,
Go ahead, man.
Do you know what? He said, Marvel is a bunch of jerks.
Yep.
That when it comes to paying their artists, when it comes to paying their creatives, he said DC always pays. When it was Ra's al Ghul used in the third, the third and I think the first Christopher Nolan's, he got paid. DC always pays. Marvel, as according to the great Neil Adams, says they're all a bunch of jerks and you have to fight to get your money and that they don't pay you. So
yep, I've heard that.
So DC, with some of the greatest creators out there, has a better reputation than Marvel does. And some of that comes because DC had the worst reputation once upon a time, and they had to work to fix and overcome it.
Mm-hmm. And not only that, but when it comes to a lot of the creatives, not just the creatives, but even the creatives' family, DC treats them like fucking family. Case in point, when they did the first two Batman movies, the ones that Tim Burton did, they took a lot of cues from Bob Kane himself, the creator of Batman. They took a lot of creative cues from Bob Kane. In fact, he was a set advisor. Like, if you ever go back and you see some behind-the-scenes pictures, you see Bob Kane heavily involved with both Batman movies. And then
I feel very responsible to say co-creator. Because Bill Finger did more work than Bob Kane.
Don't get it fucked up. I'm still going to give the fucking credit to Bill Finger, because if it was not for Bill Finger, Batman would not have the fucking cowl. Like the cowl, cape, and the suit in general. He wouldn't. Without Bill Finger, you would not have that. That is a fact.
You're very right. I just wanted to amend it as saying co-creator, but continue.
Yeah, but yeah, you get what I mean. Because again, at the end of the day, and thank you for that, by the way. Thank you for throwing that in there. Thank you. But again, and even when Bob Kane passed away, if you go back and you watch Batman Forever and Batman and Robin, they actually have Bob Kane's wife in both those movies. And a lot of y'all probably never spotted it, but if you go watch those two movies, do you remember the blonde lady that was like the gossip reporter? If you go back and watch it, there's a lady that was like a gossip reporter that was like doing like the little how like the red carpet interviews with like Bruce Wayne and shit like that. That's Bob Kane's wife. If you don't believe me, go back and watch it. Look at and read the credits. That's Bob Kane's wife. And then also let's not forget that DC does a better job with taking care of not just the creatives, but the actual people, the actual actors that portrayed in any of the DC projects. DC does a way better job taking care of their people than Marvel ever has, with the exception of Stan Lee. Because I mean, they had to treat Stan Lee like fucking royalty. Stan Lee was fucking Marvel royalty. But what I always found fucked up with Marvel is how they gave all the credit to Stan Lee, but they tried to, in a way, erase Jack Kirby and Steve Ditko. Which, let's be honest, without Jack Kirby and Steve Ditko, Stan Lee wouldn't be where he's at. And this is no slight to Stan Lee, because at the end of the day, Stan Lee is still Godfather of Marvel. Okay?
I'm trying to think. There is a Japanese creator. Oh, damn it. I can't remember which one. There's a Japanese creator that has a drawing of Spider-Man done by Stan Lee. Yep. And Stan Lee even says something to the effect of, "This is why I don't draw." Mm-hmm. Or this is why I'm the writer or whatever. And I don't remember who it was, but I do remember that that's a thing.
Yeah, I remember him saying something along those lines too. And I know it probably had to be with the time when they were doing Japanese Spider-Man.
Yeah.
But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and pull this article up real quick from the Hollywood Reporter, and let's dissect. Let's go ahead and go through. Let's dissect this article. Let's kind of go through some of it and just get some of the cliff notes. So again, it brings up Deadpool creator Rob Liefeld will no longer be working with Marvel after Deadpool and Wolverine premiere indignant. So, of course, he is on record saying that Kevin Feige does not treat comic book creators well. I can definitely see that, because they were saying he had several slides being denied access to the after party, making heads turning and claim. Yeah, and and to me, I think that's kind of fucked up, because why would you not want to have the creator, the character of said character that's making you millions, well, in fact, billions of dollars, and rather than even giving him, hold on, let me finish real quick.
Go ahead.
Yeah, rather than giving him any type of acknowledgement, why would you kind of slight the dude? Go ahead, Johnny. I'm sorry, man. I had to get that out.
The thing is it would be one thing to be like, oh, well, it's an after party. It's just high level, blah, 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 et cetera. Comic book people, they're lower on the list, blah, blah, blah. And it'd be an easy excuse to throw that out there, except he's been invited to every previous one up to this point.
That part right there. That part. Because it was never an issue when it was with Fox. But the minute he gets to Marvel, nah, bro, you got to stand outside the club. Wait, what the fuck? And this is something I'm noticing is like a pattern when it comes to Marvel treating their creatives. Like, they give their creators like the short end of the stick. Let me see. I'm trying to read a little bit more into this. And I know he said that he decided he would cut ties with Marvel. Yeah, because he said at some point you got to know when the message received and the message. Yeah, and honestly, I think at that point, message received. And I know he said something along the lines it was meant to embarrass and diminish him, and defeat him. Do I think he's just saying he's being a little over dramatic on that part? I think just a little over dramatic, just a little bit, just a little over dramatic. But at the same time, he's entitled to feel how he feels, man. I'm not even gonna say. I can't even.
That's the problem with him. Is like he's probably right, but he's probably over the topping the accusations.
Yeah,
I do. There's a lot of stuff, especially like there's a thing later on that talks about he was taking photos with this and that, but he felt they never had intention to use those photos. And I understand where like that could be an issue, but at the same time, it's like, what if they were looking for certain photos to begin with, or right? Because his family and everything was still in the thing, just not the pictures he wanted. And it's like there is something to be said for, well, maybe the person who was doing it had their own artistic vision. They were grouping things together a certain way. And it's like you can't say for sure that and that's the other thing. He doesn't know that those photos were deleted.
Yeah,
they just weren't published.
Yeah, I heard that. Yeah, because I was hearing they only used the photos for like for press release, but they didn't really like after that they like deleted the pictures where it was like him, Kevin Feige, and all the other people and shit. I was hearing about that. I don't know if that's necessarily true or not, and I kind of think like they were they were probably saying that to him to kind of stir the pot a little bit. That's just my opinion. But yeah,
Right.
and then yeah, but that's just my opinion.
And
And
this
then
is also just dealing with Rob Liefeld is because like with him everything is a grain of sand. That's why one of the reasons I wanted to like build him up in the beginning is so that everybody knows I'm a fan of this guy.
yeah, I
I'm
am
gonna
too.
I'm gonna say a couple of negative things, and I don't want people coming at me sideways because I fucking love this man. But
Yeah.
I also know he's a little bit of an egomaniac that's given him problems with some of his other fellow creators. I think
Mhm.
even including Silvestri at one point, and that's a pretty mellow dude. You know,
That's shocking. And
yeah,
then
like
yeah, there's
so it's just yeah, like but I think there's almost like anywhere between 60 to 80% of what he says and feels, I feel like is probably accurate.
yeah, I agree with that. Hold on, and I'm seeing this right here where Rob Liefeld expressed discomfort when he learned that the company made a controversial change in 2023 to give Rob Thomas, his co-editor, credit for Wolverine. Which, yeah, you know what? I even have to agree with that. That they shouldn't have given the co-editor for any type of credit for Wolverine just because what was it? He pitched like maybe one or two ideas, so that automatically gives him co-creator. No, that's not how that works, man. That, in my opinion, it's like this. That's like saying if I invent like a let's say if I invent like a chair, right, a new type of chair, and I just put on a couple screws. Does that mean I should get co-write? Does it mean I should get be a co-patent to creating that chair? No. So that's why I don't. That's why I have to agree with Rob Liefeld on this one when it came to the credits of Wolverine. Because Roy Thomas, from what I heard, he didn't really contribute that much to the creation of Wolverine.
Well, here's another thing. If you're ever lucky enough in a pawn shop, you come across Nicolas Cage's Ghost Rider DVD, but the two disc. Go ahead and pick it up. I know the movie sucks. You're not buying it for the movie. You're buying it for disc two. Disc
Yeah.
two gives you a little breakdown of the comic books over the years and some of the creators or whatever. And
Mm-hmm.
Stan Lee is the one who actually named Ghost Rider Johnny Blaze. And they didn't like the two creators didn't like. They're like, really, another fire guy named Johnny? What are they going to do? Start a club? And they kind of laugh.
What the fuck? What the fuck? That's
Yeah,
crazy, bro.
and that's what the creators were laughing and joking about. But they're like, well, Stan wants what he wants, so give it to him. But the thing is, Stan doesn't have co-creator on
Right.
Johnny Blaze.
Exactly.
And it's like if Stan doesn't get co-creation, I don't feel like anybody does. And one argument I saw was like they were trying to say, well, the creator doesn't have a problem, so why do you? But it's like one of the creators doesn't have a problem. The other creator has an inability to speak up for himself.
Yeah. And for me, what I find really fucked up about the Wolverine one is they made this decision after Len Wein passed away.
Yeah.
So that's very fucking disrespectful. Very fucking disrespectful, in my opinion.
And all it
So
does is, and the other thing too is it's going to split the money. Like the widow should have been
yep.
entitled to half of the money, and now she's only entitled to a third of the money.
Yep, exactly. And I'm just like, not cool with that shit. That's fucked up. I'm trying to read some more into this shit. Yeah, yep. And this is the we were talking about, where we were talking about the whole thing where Marvel's treatment of the creators have never been their strength. Yeah, we were just talking about that. Literally, we just said that. Without the world, the characters, and the concept we create in the specific case, the world of Deadpool, there is no film to shoot. Agreed. Agreed. No blockbuster to distribute. I'm not an easy button at Staples. I am a human being. I'm a human imagining behind it. I can get behind him on that part. I can really get behind him on a lot of this part that he's saying right here. I actually have to agree with that. You know? But
Yeah,
I
the
do
thing
think
is,
that. But hold on. But this part right here, I think he's doing too much. He asked
go ahead.
request if he could be elevated to Feige, if he could something about being elevated to Feige, Marvel. And I know like what he was trying to ask was to kind of have his name kind of put in the beginning of the fucking give him credit in the beginning of the movie, which I can agree, disagree with that because look, at the end of the day, and this is one of those ones I don't want nobody to take this the wrong way because I love Rob Liefeld. I love Rob Liefeld. I love Rob Liefeld. But bro, you are not Joe Shuster and Jerry Siegel. You did not create Superman. What do I mean by that? You're not at their level. You're not at the level of legendary status of a Joe Shuster and Jerry Siegel. You're not at the legendary level of a Bill Finger and a Bob Kane. So to kind of throw your name up there, like saying Rob Liefeld, created by Rob Liefeld, and so no, dude,
well,
no, it's
I
doing
will.
much.
I gotta agree and disagree. I agree with your specific point that Rob Liefeld is not big enough to say my name belongs on blah 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 because at the end of the day, even Todd McFarlane's name isn't big enough to belong at the beginning of Venom, and it's fucking
Or
Todd McFarlane.
yeah, agreed.
And however, and here's where my disagreement comes in. I think when we look at the mistakes that were made with Jerry and Joe, that it should be a thing that all creators say moving forward. Because, like, if you look at the animated stuff, all the major characters at the end in the credits are always created by blah, created by blah, created by blah. So, minimally, I feel like the major characters in any movie should have a created by, but it shouldn't be just because it's Rob Liefeld. It should be whoever the fuck it is.
Yeah,
Period.
and I mean, like, of course, throw the created by in the credits. I'm not saying that they shouldn't be there. What I'm saying is like to do like a whole glam and glitz type shit that they do like with the Superman movies for Jerry Siegel and Joe Shuster. That's a bit much.
Right, and that's the thing. Had he fought for like just general, hey, all of us creators deserve this. All of us creators should have that. All of us
Yeah.
creators should have, and then I'd be like, okay, yeah, dude, I'm with you. But he was like, I am great, I am glorious, and I deserve this. It's like,
Yeah, you gotta
tone it
shut
down.
that shit down. Yeah, you gotta shut that shit down, bro.
Yeah, when you're only fighting for yourself, I'm not on your side. When you're fighting for everybody, now I'm suddenly on your side.
Agreed. Agreed. And again, and that's like I said, just whenever it just comes to when it comes down to all of it, man. I agree for the most part. I'm with Rob Liefeld on it. For the most part, it's just I do think the way he went about it was a little what the fuck, but he does highlight some points that has been said for decades now. And even Bo DeMaio even confirmed this shit on his Twitter. Even he confirmed how Marvel mistreats their creators. You know, I've not just him. I can't remember. There's someone else I also heard that shit from. I can't remember who the other person was that I heard it from, but I've been hearing rumors about that for a while, man. Like it's been a thing even in the '90s, and that's why. And honestly, the treatment with how Marvel treats their creators, this is why Image Comics became a thing.
Mm-hmm.
This is why. And you would think at some point Marvel would learn this, but it's like they haven't learned a damn thing. And I hate to be the one to say this. This is gonna be Marvel's undoing. They're gonna end up fucking themselves, and they have nobody to blame but themselves. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, because like here's the thing, they can survive, I think, pretty well. Rob Liefeld, Rob's got a weird reputation, etc., etc. But it's like it's only a matter of time before you piss off the another person and another and another, and all of a sudden, all of those people are siding with the other guy, And it's like
Mm.
you're gonna have to deal with that, and there's gonna come a fucking point, man. And and I think also it's like where as social media gets better, like I think people care about the artist more than they used to.
Yeah, because that's how it was in the 90s. Yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry.
But yeah, I think that that's also going to make a thing. Is like if the artists are mad and other artists are mad, that doesn't matter. Not enough people are artists. But if the artist fans are mad, that's going to start to make a difference.
Yeah, and what people are failing to realize is that that's how it was in the 90s, dude. Like, people were buying, like, at the end of the day, it was about the artist in the 90s, man. Like, when we went to go buy comic books, especially when I was a kid, and I know I'm showing my fucking age, I don't give a fuck. When I was a little kid and I was buying comic books, I wasn't always buying comic books for the fucking story. I was buying fucking comic books because of the freaking covers. I wanted to see the freaking next Jim Lee cover that came out. I wanted to see the next Rob Liefeld cover that came out. I wanted to see the next Michael Turner cover that came out. Like, you see where I'm going with this? Like, I was buying it for the fucking covers. Because, again, I was a little kid. I didn't know no better. You know? Even though I was reading the stories and stuff, I was buying it for the covers. I was trying to get the next variant cover, dude. That's why I was buying comic books. And trust me, it was one of those dudes. If you had that variant cover, you were that fucking dude in the freaking comic books group, in the comic book group. You were that fucking dude. You know what I mean? So that's why when it came down to it, that's why we were buying a lot of these comic books for the variant covers. Let's just be honest.
For me, I was never big into like the comic book community. I was kind of just like the lone person in my family. So I like me when I got comics, it was usually at thrift stores, at um, flea markets and stuff like that.
Mm,
And my whole thing is I just wanted cool covers because I wanted to draw. And I
yep.
started looking for anything I thought I could draw, or any if I looked at a character and I was like, "Ooh, I could use that body and turn it into this character." That's the whole like I bought Deadpool because I was like, "Ooh, I can turn this into Spider-Man." Like that's the whole reason I discovered Deadpool.
And yeah, and that's basically what Deadpool was. He was like basically Deathstroke meets Spider-Man.
Yeah.
That's basically if Deathstroke and Spider-Man had a baby, you get Deadpool. But yeah, I used to do the same thing when I was a kid too, man. That was like another reason I used to buy comic books, because I used to be really into drawing, and I used to do the same thing, man. And I would start creating my own characters and shit. And that was like one of the things that I loved about drawing comic books, was like it just ideas would just come out, and I would just throw an idea at the fucking wall and make it stick to see, hopefully it would stick. You know what I mean?
And
And
the
even
funny thing
now,
is, I was gonna
go
say
ahead.
I still buy comics for the artwork. Like most of what I buy is stuff I want to read. But every now and again I'll be like, "Oh, this is cool. Oh, this is this." Especially when I'm going and buying old comics. Like
Mm-hmm.
any image stuff from the '90s, dude. I like none of what I have matches or connects, but I've got a whole box full of nothing but '90s image because it's just like the artwork is so incredible. That's the whole reason I
Right.
bought it.
Yeah,
And
dude.
I'll be honest, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Like, I saw an old interview with Rob Zombie of all people, and he talks about he used to buy comics and he never read them, and he only really bought it for the art. And I'm like, that's cool. You're an artist.
Yeah,
You like to draw. You want to buy for the like, just buy them. Just
yeah.
buy them.
Nothing wrong with that, dude. I had no issue with that. I'm all for that, man. 100%.
Buy art.
Oh yeah, hell yeah. That's definitely my shit. And then I think either tomorrow or either tomorrow or next Saturday, I do want to do a segment where I want to highlight
Tomorrow's
hey, what's
Super
going on,
Bowl,
Dirk?
bad day.
No, I'm not gonna do it. I might not even do it tomorrow. That's the other reason. Say, yo, what up, Dirk B? What's going on, bro? I think probably, yeah, because it's definitely not gonna happen tomorrow. I just threw that out there, but yeah, probably this Saturday. I wanted to kind of I want to do like a highlight of different Black creators, because Black History Month. But I wanted to really get into it because, look, man, there have been plenty of Black creators that have been out there that I really want to highlight. I've never, like me, I never really like I knew there were black creators out there, but it was like when I started researching, there were so many fucking black creators out there. It was like, how am I just barely finding out about some of these motherfuckers? You know, like I'm definitely gonna get into. I'm definitely gonna try to really dissect as much as I can on one black creator. Yeah, hold on one second. Definitely one black creator, the dude that created Blue Marvel. I'm definitely gonna dissect that dude because, bro, that man, when it comes down to it, you'll recognize him when you see him. When you see his face, you might recognize him. But anyway, let me see what trailers are you gonna show. That's a good question. What trailers are you gonna show tomorrow, Johnny?
Shows you. Oh, that is a good question. And the funny thing is, I've been out of that circle a little bit because most of where my information used to come from was comicbook.com, and they got very spoilery. They started doing a lot of spoilers for my likings. Like the previous episode, I said I didn't care for Deadpool versus Wolverine. I got to thinking about it. I realized the reason I didn't like it as much is because that page spoiled everything. I knew Gambit was going to be there. I knew Psylocke was going to be there. I knew all these people were going to be there, and it wasn't exciting anymore.
Yeah, same.
And I feel like that page is where I got most of my nerd news, but then they were also spoiling too much stuff. So I was like, sorry guys, I got to go. And so I'm just a little out of the loop.
Yeah.
What is supposed to be coming up? Oh, I mean, they might do something extended, like they'll maybe do something with Red Hulk that has like 2 seconds of extra bullshit. You know, nothing special, but enough to get people, to talking. What else is? When is the Superman movie due?
July. It comes out the same day the Fantastic Four movie comes out. And by the way, yes, I'm looking forward to that Lilo and Stitch trailer if they fucking show it. If they show that Lilo and Stitch trailer, I'm going to lose my shit.
You know what I would like is you remember when Lilo and Stitch kept interrupting other stuff?
Yes,
since Snow White's going to be a failure anyway, which, by the way, I saw a thing projecting that they're going to lose $100 million on Snow White.
Bro, I could have predicted that shit. I could have. It doesn't take rocket science to predict that shit, dude. It really doesn't. Yeah, that's what I was hearing too. Like the Superman trailer, they're not gonna show it at the Super Bowl. I already heard about that. I think they're gonna show it during a little like featurette for the Puppy Bowl, but they're not gonna show the Superman trailer.
Oh, I guess they're gonna focus on crypto a little bit. That could be cute.
Yeah, and dude, I was gonna be like, bro, I don't give a shit what nobody says, man. Crypto's the shit. Fuck what anybody's gotta say. Crypto is the shit, man. Fuck all y'all.
Ace is better, but I agree with you.
Oh, we're not gonna get into that one. We're not gonna get into the Ace versus crypto argument. We're not doing it. I'm not. Don't bait me into that shit. I'm not doing it.
Look, all I'm saying is Ace survived some real shit. Crypto just showed up and had life handed to him. That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying it's an allegory for the black-white struggle, and that
you fucking bitch. I knew you were gonna fucking say that, you bitch.
And I'm not saying that you siding with crypto is you being a race trader. I'm not saying that. I'm just going to use that previous statement to imply it.
I fucking hate you. I fucking hate you for that, bro. You're a son of a bitch for that one, bro. You're a son of a bitch. Hey, well played. Well played. I'm not even mad at you for that. Well played. Oh my fucking god, dude. Oh man, give me a minute. I need to freaking catch myself because I almost laughed out my fucking body, dude. Dude. But shit. But yeah, dude, I would want to see that. The whole Puppy Bowl thing. I'd love to see that. That's usually a cool thing to freaking see. I like the Puppy Bowl. What's another trailer? No, I did see a snippet of the Dorito commercial though, Derpy. I did see a snippet of it. I didn't see all of it, and I also saw a snippet for Carl's Jr. So I did see that. But yeah, I mean, I'm just gonna have to do wait and see. I kind of hope they do Lilo and Stitch. They'll probably definitely do Mission Impossible 8. I think they're definitely gonna do that because this might be the final Mission Impossible, if I'm not mistaken. That's how they're marketing it, at least. But I'll wait and see with that one. I know they'll definitely do what was it? Fantastic Four. I think they're gonna throw the Fantastic Four trailer in there. But yeah, I was gonna say, Johnny, did you see the Fantastic Four trailer or no?
No, I saw a couple people spoofing it, but the thing is, I don't have Facebook at the moment. Like, I deleted a couple of things to like give myself less distractions for the month. So like, I haven't been keeping up with Facebook or really anything. So like, I haven't seen any trailers for. I think the last trailer I saw was Switch 2. Like to give you an idea of how long I've been not paying attention.
Yeah. Do you want to see a snippet of the Fantastic Four trailer?
Go for it.
Okay. And honestly, right now, if I get a freaking copyright claim, I do not give if I don't care. Because like even then, like I said, I'm not tripping about getting monetized, but I'm still gonna freaking. Like I said, I'm still gonna show the trailer. Give me a minute and make sure I got an official trailer before I show it.
I think if it's under a certain amount of seconds, we don't have to worry about. But I just don't know what the seconds are.
Okay, give me a minute. I'm gonna share the screen. Just give me a minute. Okay, let's do present. Yeah, I'll show you the trailer. All right, and then you give me your thoughts on it. All right, here we go.
Welcome to the Baxter Building.
We make a point to do family dinner every week. Sunday at 7 on the dot, no matter what. We're all here.
Herbie, how's that sauce coming?
Yeah, I'll be the judge of that.
Okay.
And I like the I love Ben Grimm.
What? I want to add a couple cloves of garlic. Not because it's not delicious. I just want to add a little bit of zip. Okay?
-5. Before we went up the first time, you couldn't turn invisible. Ben wasn't a rock.
The best pilot in the world right here.
Yeah. Best looking, he means.
And Johnny never caught fire.
Ben has always been a rock. Johnny is Johnny.
Hi.
And I am right here. Whatever life throws at us, we'll face it together.
Fantastic car. Love that shit.
As a family.
So what'd you think so far?
It looks decent, but it's not enough to bring me to the table.
Yeah, I'm like split on it. If I'm gonna be honest, like I'm split. If anything, here's my thing when it comes to I'm just be honest. When it comes to the Fantastic Four, I can say that they got Ben Grimm's design right for the first time. For the first time, they actually nailed Ben Grimm.
I saw something stupid on the internet the other day because I did see a little bit about this where it was like, why is the CGI so much better in 2000 blah than it is now? And I wanted so bad to comment because that's not CGI. That's a practical effect. Because they were comparing the original thing to the new one. I'm like, yeah, that's a costume.
Yeah, because even in this one, it's a combination of CGI and practical effects.
Little like Jar Jar.
Kind of like they actually had like a whole suit and everything for the thing. And the only thing they did the practical effect for really was for like the face and stuff with like the facial expressions and stuff. That's the
Right.
only thing they did the practical effects for. Other than that, it was a whole suit and shit. So yeah, that was the whole point of that. And then, Derpy got a question for you. Your fan cast for Batman, the DCU better. You better not wait for the DCU. Who would you fan cast as Batman? And he said you better not say outraged. Hey, I'm not gonna hold him on that one, bro. I actually have to agree, dude. Don't throw Alan Rich's name in there because everybody's been throwing his name into the fucking hat every time they bring up the Batman talk. Every time.
Funny thing is, I don't know who this Alan Richardson is.
Yeah,
and
he played.
who is
if
he?
you want to know, yeah, he played Hawk on the Titans TV show, and he also played Aquaman in Smallville.
Okay, he's a beefy guy, but I mean, I still don't think that's the guy.
Right.
I don't know if there. Here's the thing: Batman and James Bond are those characters that people want to force out there when the person to play them doesn't exist yet.
Yeah.
And that's a whole thing. But also, like, I don't like how out there the freaking universes and multi-universes are. So, like, as much as I despise the little sparkly vampire boy, Robert Pattinson, I'd rather it just be him for the sake of continuity.
Yeah, I think the only reason they're not doing that is just because the universes seem like they wouldn't mesh. I don't know.
My thing is like,
I think
I'll care more when the universe is worth giving a crap about. As of right now, I don't have a lot of faith in it.
Yeah. And as far as I'm concerned right now, I'm just gonna wait and see with Superman, because at the end of the day, the Superman movie, it looks like it could be pretty decent. I want to see more, but I'm definitely gonna watch it anyway, just to kind of get my thoughts on it. Oh, Brave and the Bold Who Shed, Batgirl, Oracle, definitely Batgirl. Definitely Batgirl.
What was that?
Definitely Batgirl.
Oh yeah, like, dude, I want Oracle just out.
Yeah, because honestly, to me, in my opinion, I just think Oracle was a cop out to drag out. It was an excuse to make the Killing Joke canon. I'm just gonna be honest. It was just an excuse to make the Killing Joke canon, because originally the Killing Joke wasn't supposed to be canon. You know, it was literally supposed to be just a freaking Elseworlds book, like, you know, one of those one-shot Elseworlds books. That's all it was supposed to be originally. But because it was so well received, they decided to make it canon. But yeah.
Which I can accept for that period of time, but it's like that period of time is over. Do we still have Nightwing with long hair? Like, are we bringing that back anytime soon? And if
please
the answer
don't.
Is no, if the answer is no, then let this bitch walk.
We're not talking. No, stop bringing up Mullet Nightwing. Stop bringing up Mullet Nightwing.
First of all, Mullet Nightwing was the best Nightwing. I'm not going to have this discussion with you again.
Shut up. No, no, we're not doing it. We're not doing it. We're not talking Mullet Nightwing. It's dead. It's
dead. But that's the thing. Like, other things are allowed to be left in the past. Or at the very least, like, Storm's mohawk comes back every now and again in certain things. Nobody's out here fighting for the Storm mohawk. So why are we all fighting to keep this bitch crippled? Like, let her walk. Let her run. Like, when is enough enough?
And to be fair, I do like Mohawk Storm. Fuck what everybody gonna say. I like Mohawk Storm.
I like her in certain contexts.
Yeah.
I like Mohawk Storm in certain contexts, but I don't want her back, like, as the Storm. But, like, when they do little things with it here and there, or, like, there's one movie where she has a mohawk and then the next one she doesn't, and the mohawk is because it's the 80s and everybody had a mohawk. So it's like, yeah, dude, that works. But that's the thing. Same thing with, like, Blue Superman. Like, do we really need to keep having Blue Superman? He was cool. and we can maybe do some throwback stuff and see him briefly. But for the
Yeah,
most part, do we really need him? Do we need him? Do we need our Batgirl to be crippled, or can she just be Batgirl?
that's a fair point. I'm gonna just say this: as long as we don't bring this Thor back, as long as we keep this Thor in the '90s, we're all. Oh no, we leave mullet Superman. I'm not. We're not talking about mullet Superman. We're not doing it. Nope, we ain't fucking doing it. But as long as we leave this version of Thor back in the '90s, we're good.
What's wrong with the sexy midriff? I don't understand what the issue is.
How much time you got? It's between that and it's between the midriff and the shoulder pads. The giant fucking shoulder pads, which you already know in the '90s comics, that's what they were infamous for, was the giant fucking shoulder pads. Case in point.
He was late. He was late for a powder puff football game. All right, don't judge him.
Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up, Johnny.
Powder puff Thor. What's wrong with that?
Oh my god, he was late to that shit, and so was fucking Cable. Cable was very late to this shit because obviously he had to time travel just to make sure that he made it on time, and he was still fucking late. What the fuck, dude? Oh man, you gotta love the fucking '90s.
At least with Cable, because like I know my old Cable action figure, he used to have this giant shoulder pad, but the shoulder pad held a gun. So you understand why you need a giant shoulder pad if you have a giant gun on your shoulder.
Actually, yeah, that is fair. That's fair.
But it's like Thor, what are you doing? You're not receiving, you're not defending, you're not doing shit.
He did it for the fashion. That's all he did it for.
Same thing with fucking Magneto and those goddamn sleeves.
Oh my fucking! Are you talking about the sleeves in the black suit?
Yeah, the black purple's the one we just saw in '97. It's like that suit would be fine if not for the 1930s starlet roll up, elbow length gloves.
Dude, I ain't bringing that shit up.
It's like Magneto, you were so close to being cool.
Yep.
You know how hard it is to make somebody like Magneto not cool? Like, I'm a human. He hates my guts, and I'm still like, you're pretty fucking cool, guy.
Yeah. And just
like, so maybe I do deserve to die and suffer. You might be right.
Yeah. And you know what? Since you want to talk about the shoulder pads, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to have to agree with Derpy. Let's bring this back. Let's bring it back. But let's bring that back.
You know what I will say? I take umbrage with the idea of it always being called a mullet the moment they have long hair, because if he slicks it back, which Superman is known to do,
yes,
of course it's only going to drift in the back.
Yeah.
I don't know why the hell that curl won't grow, though. Like, literally, his sideburns grow. I've seen him grow a mustache before.
I've seen him grow a whole beard. What the fuck?
Like, his back hair will grow. Everything will grow except for that one damn spit curl. I want to see him as a baby with only the spit curl.
Yeah, like, dude, dude, hold on, I'm trying to find a picture where Superman had, like, a whole beard, and, like, he had been gone for days and still has that fucking spit curl. Like, what the fuck, dude? How does that happen? Like, on a whole fucking planet for, like, months to almost years, and then comes back and still has the fucking spit curl somehow. What the fuck? Go ahead, shoot.
And you know what's really crazy is the moment he puts the glasses on, spit curl, gone.
Yeah, I'm just...
Like, he can grow his hair out dead for months at a time. Spit curls there. He puts glasses on, boom, gone.
Yeah, I've never understood that.
Yeah.
And I know, like, yeah, and it was, like, weird. He used to do this weird shit, too, where, like, he kind of hunched over a little bit to where it made it look like he was shorter. Hold on one second.
Hugh Jackman does that as Wolverine.
Yeah. What was your experience with Batman v Superman theaters back in 20? Because I did watch that when it first came out. When it first hit
me
theaters,
and Nacho and I saw it in theaters. Yeah.
ooh, it's a tough one. So I don't know. Like for me, I didn't think it was as bad as everybody made it out to be. Do I think it was do I think it was a fucking masterpiece of a movie? No. It had its problems. It had its problem with pacing. That was the biggest thing, is that the pacing was fucking horrible. Just gonna be honest about that.
The Martha scene is still terrible.
Bro, don't ever bring up the Martha. Go for it. Just go ahead, get it out.
And the thing is, if they could have gently worded the writing in a way where it was the same scene, but it would have worked and not sounded dumb. But they did not workship that one friggin' part, and that one part really made the whole movie seem silly, because Batman is not going to get that disrupted by a solitary word. He's just not. Even if it's that personal, it's going to take more than that. And so it's like, even if as he's like going, save my mother, Martha, and like even then, just that slight change of dialogue could have been like, and it would have made the whole thing make sense. So it was like, that's a little Zack Snyder being Zack Snyder, and maybe that's a little bit of the actors not being enough of themselves. Because if you think about the guy from 300, Gerard Butler, thank you. I kept thinking Gerard, but I couldn't think the last name. When he goes, "This is Sparta," and that was not the line. He kept whispering it, and then one take, he goes in and he yells it. And as he turns around, he goes, he felt so embarrassed. He goes, I felt so embarrassed. It was so dumb. And the guy runs up to him. He's like, no, this is perfect. This is perfect. But the thing is like, it took that artist to know what we're doing doesn't work. And it took that artist being an artist to say, let me try something different that might work. And I feel like maybe these actors who were under him gave him a little too much. And even going back to Star Wars, as much as I love George Lucas, the line when Carrie Fisher goes under the thing was supposed to be, I love you too. And that would not have meant anything. It was Harrison Ford and the director who got together, was like, hey, you want to do something different? Sometimes you got to be willing to be an artist and say, maybe this works a little better for this. And perhaps Zack Snyder didn't have enough pushback from some of his people, or enough people just willing to say, hey, let's just try this so slightly differently. But it was like, it was so close to being right, but it was just so wrong.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I mean, you kind of hit the nail right on the coffin on that one, dude. I got nothing for that. Let me see.
All in all, I will say, like, I left the movie hopeful, because my thing was, this movie isn't great, but this universe is just getting started. They're getting their feet under them. Like, I was very hopeful for the future, which I was clearly wrong to be.
Bro, there was just, and the problem is, this is what I always say, dude. Like, the problem was they were trying to rush it to getting on Avengers level of an event. You know what I mean? They were trying to rush it to get to Avengers level versus putting in the work and fleshing the characters out. You know? And that's where it really fucked them. I always say this every single time. If they had worked on developing a lot of these characters, especially a lot of these members of the Justice League, made it to where we actually gave a shit about these characters, then I think it would have worked. Granted, I'm going to say this. The Snyder cut of Justice League worked a lot better than what the fuck we got in theaters. Because at least with Snyder's cut of the movie, they actually fleshed out a couple characters' backstory. They fleshed out the Flash a little bit. They definitely fleshed the fuck out of Cyborg, which, in my opinion, that really would have worked. It would have made the whole stakes of the movie that much higher. because now we understand, what's the whole thing with Cyborg. How the fuck is he connected to the mother box? What the fuck made Cyborg have so much disdain for his fucking father? You know what I mean? You're not going to just hate your freaking dad for no reason because he turned you into a fucking robot. There's got to be more to that. There's got to be more fleshed out with that shit. You know what I mean? And I think Zack Snyder did a good job with that. Not to mention really showcasing the Flash's full powers, which I think when it came down to Joss Whedon doing it, he didn't really see the Flash as like that powerful character. He just thought it was just, oh, fast guy. Let's have him zip from this way, that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
That's all.
I had a
Yeah.
buddy who, like, his whole perspective on the Flash was exactly that. Oh, he runs fast, blah blah. This motherfucker spent years. The guy we went, you met him. He's the one we went to go see Wakanda with. He's the plus size
Yeah.
guy. He
Yeah.
spent years and years and years hating on the Flash, and I was like, okay.
Yeah.
And one day, I finally convinced him to watch Justice League Unlimited, and he reached that episode, the one where it's Batman, Flash, and Orion, and it was Flash Day at the museum, and Orion's talking trash the whole time, and by the end of the episode, Orion looks at Batman and is like, I see what you see in him. I get it now. It was literally that episode he called me up and was like, I get it now.
Yeah. The Flash
And
is the
yeah, dude. And so it's like Flash is so awesome that it's like I turned that show turned a Flash hater into calling me and being like, you're right, Flash is actually pretty awesome. It's like, yeah, dude, he is. He's got a lot going on.
Yeah, and this is what I always tell people, like, if you think some of the lesser DC characters are kind of trash, this is what I always say, man. I always say this. Go watch a few episodes of Justice League Unlimited, and then you come back and tell me how you feel about those characters.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm gonna tell you right now, at first, my girlfriend, she was kind of whatever about Black Canary, right? Mm-hmm. And then when she went and watched Justice League Unlimited, now she fucking loves the fuck out of Black Canary. Yeah, my girl took it upon herself to watch Justice League Unlimited. I didn't even tell her to go watch it. She took it upon herself to watch it. She loved it. Now, the CW shows, I will say this. I'm going to be honest. Arrow was good all the way up until the fourth season. Fourth season, which everything after the fourth season was kind of trash. Some seasons were pretty decent. In between, the final season was badass. The Flash was good. Was a good show all the way up until about the fifth season. It started to kind of slowly fall off the fucking rock. Legends was only good till about the second season, and then it just, I don't know. Supergirl, same thing. It was only good till about the second season, and the third season, it was just fucking trash. Batgirl just was not a good show. Batwoman was just not a good show.
All right, and what about Stargirl?
Stargirl was a badass show. I loved Stargirl.
Okay. And here's the thing. Stargirl is one of those characters that intrigues me, but I only know it from the cartoon that we were just talking about. Yeah. And I'm like, I want to know more because she seems pretty cool. And the show I've wanted to check out, but the show came out once the whole universe was starting to take a nosedive.
Yeah. And Stargirl is one of those very few shows that was actually pretty decent. It was actually a pretty decent show because it wasn't just Stargirl. They even included like the legacy members of the JSA because they even incorporated the JSA in the beginning of the show, and you find out what happened to the JSA, and that's why you have these other characters that took up the different monikers of the different characters from the JSA. So it was mostly, you can say, it was Stargirl and the JSA, if we're gonna be honest about it. But like I said, still a badass show. I thought Stargirl was badass. I need to go back and finish the final season.
It's nice to see JSA in popular stuff because if you go back to Justice League Unlimited, when they went to that alternate universe where they met those comic book stuff, they were supposed to go back in time and meet the JSA, and for whatever reason, nobody really understands why. The upper brass said, no, you cannot do that. And they never gave them a good explanation, and they gave the fans a good explanation. Yeah. And so the creators had to do this thing that turned out to be pretty cool, I thought. But
yeah, I liked it. And then
The JSA was what it was supposed to be, so to finally get to see some stuff with them, and which is, I guess, kind of how I felt about what was it, that most recent DC animated universe that failed so terribly.
oh, the Tomorrowverse, bro. Oh my god, I don't even want to get into that. Jesus fucking Christ.
And here's the funny thing is because you know how I own them all on Blu-ray. When
Yeah.
you look at the spines were supposed to spell out the words DC Universe.
Wow.
Except when you look at where the second one should have been, something was cut out. So it's like the D and you see Wonder Woman's arm. And then you go to the end of the D and you see Wonder Woman's other arm. But you don't see Wonder Woman. And then as you get further away, the collage that the spine was supposed to make just ends. And then it's just the final trilogy, which basically means they had bigger plans.
Yeah.
And what they had sucked so much balls that they had to hurry up and finish it.
Yeah, that's fair. I think for me, when it came to hold on, before I get into the Flash, hold on. I gotta even bring up what was it, Superman and Lois. I do have to bring that one up. Now Superman and Lois. That is one of the very few Superman shows that I've watched where they really nail Superman and Clark Kent and they really flesh him the fuck out. That's one of the very few shows that I've ever watched where they're able to really get you to give a fuck about Clark Kent. Not so much Superman, but Clark Kent. You know?
Right, which like the last one to really make you understand who that person was like All-Star Superman.
Right.
And you've been telling me for probably a year and a half that I need to watch this series already.
Yes. I'm fucking telling you, bro. Gotta fucking watch it, dude.
I think the big selling point was Steel. Like as soon as you told me Steel was involved, I'm like, all right, I'll jump on board.
And dude, and I don't give a fuck what anybody says. Steel is the shit on that fucking show.
Steel is the shit. Here's the thing: Steel is the shit in the movie Steel. All right, I stand by that. I stand by that. Like Shaquille O'Neal was a decent enough superhero for the era in which he came.
Yeah. And like I said, I even like the actor that they had play Steel in the TV show. And the one thing they even did too, they even added you remember Steel's niece? Natasha Irons? She's technically in the show, but she's not his niece in the show. It's actually his daughter. And she does get a suit later, but get this. I told you the whole caveat with Steel in this show, right?
Maybe. I might have forgotten it.
He's from an alternate Earth. Because of the whole Crisis of Infinite Earth shit, his Earth got wiped out and he ended up in the Superman and Lois Earth. And he's trying to kill Superman just due to the fact that in his universe, Superman went fucking crazy and just went on a whole killing spree, and it was pretty much the whole world against Superman and the Kryptonians.
Oh, wow. So he doesn't have the hero worship that he does in most stories.
Not till later. No. That's what actually makes this Steel a little bit better, in my opinion. Because he grows to trust Clark, you know? And like as the show progresses, they develop like kind of like a brotherly like bond. You know, to where like if Superman's in trouble, he's gonna put his life on the fucking line for Superman and vice versa. You know, they develop that respect for each other. Like I said, it's a fucking awesome show, bro. I definitely recommend it. I don't even want to get started with. No, I'm not even gonna get started on the Marvel Disney Plus shows. I'll get to that in a minute. Now the Flash movie
was better than most Marvel. Oh yeah. Ooh.
Yeah, let's dissect the Flash movie real quick.
I refuse to watch that one actually. I think that was at the point where like
you hit your breaking point.
It was a little. You know what my breaking point for that universe was? It was Birds of Prey. I think when Birds of Prey came out, that's when I was like, I'm done.
We do not mention Birds of Prey on this channel. We do not mention Birds of Prey on this fucking channel.
And then with Marvel I only recently gave up on. And here's what's really sad is like I feel like giving up on Star Wars in a lot of ways, man.
I don't blame you.
Because like here's what's really weird is that Skeleton Crew show. When I look up the ratings, people loved it, man.
That's what I was
really freaking loved it. There was like it was between 72 and 80%, which to me that's passing grades. But
Yeah.
I watched every single episode and was like, what is even the point of this bullshit? You're not.
Bro.
I actually found as much. Here's what's very weird. I hated Acolyte way more. I thought Acolyte was a worse show. But I also thought Acolyte did more to continue and advance the lore of Star Wars than this other show did. So to me, even though that show was worse, it actually holds more merit because it builds Star Wars up better.
That's fair. That's a fair point. I mean, I'm not super into Star Wars like I used to be. Acolyte just didn't even fucking bother, man.
Yeah, Disney did, and it's like, God damn it, because when Disney does some shit right, holy crap, dude, it's like the best stuff you can imagine.
Facts.
And when Disney does some stuff wrong, it's like, oh,
it's the end of the fucking world.
Yeah, this is a steaming pile of poop.
Yeah, that's
like Jurassic Park. That's what it is. Dude, Jurassic Park poop.
Dude, I'm gonna be honest, bro. When it comes to Jurassic Park, and this is gonna be an unpopular opinion, Jurassic Park has not been good since The Lost World.
Oh, that is an unpopular opinion.
I don't give a fuck what anybody says, dude. Jurassic Park has not been that badass since The Lost World. I'm not saying that I'm not saying Jurassic World was bad. Jurassic World is passable. But it's not on the same level of The Lost World, Jurassic Park 2. Or the first Jurassic Park. It will never be on that fucking level. Ever. Sorry. I gotta say it.
True. Very true. I will say I appreciate, because like I've only ever read like one Michael Cretchen book, and I will say it was his final book. And the problem with that is that somebody else came in and finished it for him. So like I really don't know the work of Michael Cretchen, but I kind of sort of do because I read his final book. Right. And the way the first Jurassic World movie played out with just these wild, over-the-top characters, and if you look at it the way and turn around and watch that movie, you're like, oh, this is so the way this guy writes.
Yeah. That's just how I felt about that with Jurassic World. I was like, bro, what the fuck even is this? Especially the last one, bro. Like, the last two Jurassic World movies just had me like, what the fuck am I even watching? I'm just gonna be honest. It just had me like, what the fuck am I even watching at this point? Like, I don't know, man.
So yeah, there's a little bit of that, but the sequels, it was like because it was something Kingdom and whatever the hell the other one was, and I was like, I watched the first, or I guess the second of the three, and it made me not want to watch the third because I thought the first one was so good, dude. When I watched that first one, I was like, oh man, this is what Jurassic World. Like, yeah, dude, this is paying perfect tribute to the original. Fucking A. And I watched that.
Oh, his mic cut out. That was weird. Let's give him a second. You good, Johnny? Ah, shit. I think his mic cut out. I think his audio cut out, guys. But I'm gonna give Johnny a minute to freaking get back up to fix his mic because I know like that happens sometimes on here. Like the mic kind of goes crazy. I gotta find a different platform to use for this because sometimes StreamYard's the audio it just cuts in and out. So I'm gonna try to figure something else out with that. Maybe I'll do Discord next time. I don't know. We'll see. But I'm gonna give Johnny a minute to get caught to fix the audio real quick. But yeah, real quick. Let me just since I am here. I'm gonna be going live later on tonight. I'm gonna be playing Ninja Gaiden Black 2. And I'm going to be playing some freaking Forza Motorsports. So, I got my steering wheel over here. I got it sit up stowed. So I'm going to test that motherfucker. I'm going to play this a little bit more on some Forza Horizon. Not Forza Motorsport, not Forza Horizon. I'm going to get, I still haven't figured out the kinks with that steering wheel. Forza Horizon. I did get Assetto Corsa, but bro, I can't. Ugh. That's one of those ones I really gotta like mod out heavy, and I don't have the patience for it, so I'm just not even gonna waste the time doing it. But you good, Johnny?
Am I back?
Yeah, you're back. You're back.
Okay, I understand what happened. My dumbass went to walk my dogs, but I didn't turn my Wi-Fi off. So this entire time, my phone was trying to connect to the Wi-Fi when I should have just been on the network.
Yeah, I've had to do that a few times, bro. What the fuck? What the fuck? I hate when I get the Snapchat notifications. I'm just trying to clear all my notifications on my phone. I'm like tired of this shit going off. But anyway, man. But yeah, that's just how I look at it. And then I think right now with Marvel, like with the TV shows, I'm just gonna kind of wait and see. I have been watching Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man though. I have been watching that.
Ooh.
I'm like, I think it's okay. It's not the best Spider-Man series, but it's okay for the most part. But however, I will say for me, there is a little bit of lazy writing in it. I'm just gonna be honest. There is some lazy writing in the show, and I'm gonna give you an example with how Peter even got the spider powers was lazy writing. Very, very fucking lazy writing. Like all that happened was Doctor Strange was fighting the little giant symbiote, and he opened a portal, and the spider comes out of the fucking portal. Just coincidentally, comes out of the fucking portal and then bites Peter in the back of the neck, and that's how he gets his powers.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I do like the one thing I can say is I do like how they're building up Tombstone. I do like how they're doing the character development for Tombstone. I do like that. That's actually really good character development for him. I know with Norman Osborn, they're really doing the whole Tony Stark like type of thing. You know what I'm talking about? With like how they did the whole Tony Stark thing where Tony Stark was kind of like Peter's mentor. They're kind of doing the same thing with that. I do think it's a little off-putting to gender and race swap Kurt Connors.
Wait, say gender and race swap? So what is he now?
It's a Latina woman, and her name is Carla Connors.
How many Latinas do you know named Connors?
I'm not touching that, but Kurt, she's married, but anyway.
And even then, like Connors comes from O'Connor traditionally, which is Irish.
I know, bro. I know. I'm just going with the dude. I'm just rolling with the punches on this one, dude. And I'm not gonna lie, like the whole thing with like Black Norman Osborn, it kind of works. But to be fair, I'm being a little biased because I do like the voice actor for Norman Osborn. I do think the dude is a phenomenal actor, so that's me being a little biased right there.
Also, I mean, that cartoon started a whole thing of Norman and Harry having waves. All right, they started that.
Yeah, I was gonna bring that up too. I was gonna say something on that.
Like Same thing with Lex Luthor. Like Lex Luthor was white until the '92 series was like, what if he was mulatto? And
I don't
and
even know.
now it changed.
I don't even know what the fuck. Dude, I'm not even gonna touch Lex Luthor in that cartoon. I don't even know if he was supposed to be, like mixed race or I don't fucking know. I don't
I
know.
always thought he was supposed to be mixed race. I always thought like his daddy banged like, one of the people who worked for him and she was this underprivileged black girl.
No, Lex Luthor was originally, like in the actual comics, Lex Luthor is a ginger. Yeah, he's a ginger. That's what some people don't know is Lex Luthor is a ginger.
Well, it only takes one generation to fix that.
Ah! You're not wrong, bro. You're not wrong.
Like one of our nation's most famous gingers is Bill Burr. Go look at his kids.
No, I know Bill Burr's a ginger, bro. That dude is fucking hilarious, man. I love Bill Burr. I fucking love Bill Burr, man. I'll go fuck with nobody says that dude. I've said this numerous times, and I'm gonna say it again. Bill Burr is the white Dave Chappelle.
Oh, what's funny is
Yeah,
I call him the
Chappelle.
white living goat because to
Yeah.
me the white goat is George Carlin, the black
Facts.
goat is Richard Pryor. So we got to talk about living goats. We got to talk about people that are still alive, and the guys to
Yeah.
replace them are Chappelle and Bill Burr.
Facts. Fucking facts.
But the
I don't
thing
even.
is like Bill Burr, his wife is black, so his kids are black. So it's like, it like I said, one generation is all it takes to wipe that shit out.
Yep.
Bill Burr is our nation's most renowned ginger, and his children are blacker than the ace of spades.
So what you're saying is Bill Burr just committed gingercide.
Which is funny because he's one of the biggest defenders of gingers in America.
Yeah, that's crazy. Wait, hold on. What the fuck? This has got to be fake news.
It better be.
So apparently, no, because I'm on my freaking Twitter right now. It said Elliot Page has met with Marvel Studios to discuss potential role. I call fake news. I don't think that's real, but we'll see. And I hope to fucking God PlayStation Network fixes their shit because I'm trying to play fucking Marvel Rivals on my PlayStation and I can't fucking do it.
Oh, I gotta ask you a question about Marvel Rivals.
Shoot.
Because I don't play the game, and you know when they start making dramatic changes, people who don't follow the bullshit, they're very inclined to get angry about stuff. So
Yep.
Funko Pop just released some Marvel Rival stuff, and
Yeah, I
one of
saw
them is Girl Galactus doing this kind of like over feminine pose.
Oh,
And I'm like,
Galactus.
and so my thing is like, as I'm watching this over feminine pose where she's just like, oh, tee hee hee, with her little hand stuck out, I'm like, okay, this seems like it would be trash, but I don't know what's going on. Like, I've heard nothing but good things about Rivals.
Yeah,
And
Galactus. For the record,
go ahead.
I was gonna say, for the record, that's Galactus' daughter.
Oh, go on.
Yeah, apparently it's Galactus' daughter. Just so we're clear, I had to clear that up because I didn't want you to think it was a gender swap Galactus. It's Galactus' daughter.
Okay, and see, that's why I wanted to ask you because I knew you'd be the guy to know because I'm like, on the surface, it seems like, oh, this is lame, this is blah, blah, blah. But I'm like, I'll bet you there's more going on that I don't know about.
Yeah, it's actually a multiverse story. So every character you see, some of them come from different universes. Example, Captain America is actually from the year 2099. So rather than him getting unfrozen in the 90s, he got unfrozen in the year 2099.
So he's from 2099, but he is not Captain America 2099.
No. It's still Steve Rogers. Yeah, it's still Steve Rogers. He just was unthought out in the year 2099. And then let me see what's another character. Spider-Man is from a universe where Dracula runs the world, which is the same universe that the Fantastic Four come from.
Any Blade in that universe, or is it just not
Blade
divided that way?
Blade actually got captured by Dracula. Yeah, he's Dracula's prisoner, apparently. And I don't know where some of the other characters come from as far. I just remember some of them, not all. Oh, Penny Parker's also from the year 2099, which is the same Earth that Captain America's from. And she lives in Tokyo, Japan. And actually, one of the levels in the game is her home place. And I think Psylocke might possibly be from that same universe. I'm not sure because I know Psylocke is like a ninja in that game. And then Bucky's arm is not like the traditional Bucky's arm. Like it has like a grappling hook. It can shoot a little like laser out of it, and it can even turn into like tentacles and shit. It's weird. Yeah, it's really, really weird. I think I can't really think much of the other characters off the top of my head, but that's just kind of little things that I remember for the most part with some of the characters. But yeah, not all the characters are from the same Earth. They're all from different Earths. And the reason that game is making a lot of money is because of the skins. Because they have a bunch of different skins. They even have skins that pay homage to the actual comics. Like I know I just got a Thor skin that pretty much pays homage to the what was it? The Thor Reborn, the one that he had in the 2000s during around the time when Civil War started, where he's got the chainmail on the arms and shit.
Okay.
Yeah, he's got that suit. He's got the suit from Love and Thunder. There's even a Cosmic Thor skin. I want them to put either classic Thor or Ultimate Thor. That's what I really want to see is Ultimate Thor in the game. That would be a badass one. I'm trying to think. I know right now there's a battle pass they're doing. They had the Magneto House of M skin, which is the one that I'm working on trying to get next. And then they have Wanda skin from also from House of M. And they even have which else? They have a handful of different MCU skins, and even then they have like different winning poses that are inspired by the movies and stuff like that. And don't laugh at me. I did buy the Iron Man freaking MCU skin, the one from Endgame. I did buy that damn skin. Don't fucking judge me.
I'm not here to judge anybody.
Yeah.
Necessarily.
I do like, asshole. Anyway. Yeah, the only reason I bought it was because the winning, whenever you get the MVP pose, it shows him shooting a bunch of people with shit, and then he does the little snap with the Infinity Stones on it and shit. There's that one, and then they even have what is it? The Superior Iron Man skin too. And don't get me started with Venom.
And see, that's why when I see stuff come up, like my knee-jerk reaction might be like, "This is stupid," blah, 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 blah. But it's like, well, why don't you do some research into it? Because there's been times when like I'll be like, "This is dumb," and I look into it, I'm like, "Oh, I was right. This is dumb." But there's other times when I'm like, "Oh, this actually makes a lot of sense. This adds up. This works good." And it's like I just don't want to be that guy that just hates anything new.
Yeah.
Like, oh, this is different from what I grew up with. Well, like, yeah, dude, it has to be.
Yeah.
Nobody wants the same story 4 times over. That's just Aquaman the movie.
Right. Because, I mean, let's be honest. Like, how many times has DC done an event that's basically Christ on Infinite Earths all over again? How many times has DC done this?
Isn't that what they just did in those DVDs we were talking about earlier, where they gave up?
Well, not even just so much the movies, but even in the comics, there's always like a crisis event that always ties back to Christ on Infinite Earths, or they do slight changes and shit, but at the end of the day, it's still Crisis on Infinite Earths.
And that's why I can't get into the new Absolute stuff.
That was badass. That's actually a really fucking good book. I highly recommend that. The absolute Batman, absolute Superman, and Wonder Woman. Dude, read those.
Here's my problem with that is like 7, 8 years ago, however long it was, that's what everybody would have been saying about Rebirth. Oh, it's actually badass. Oh, give it a shot. But it's like, how long before they abandon what they're building on to go follow the next thing? And it's like in my last 8 years or so, I've watched you build and abandon 3 different universes, and now I'm supposed to watch you build and abandon this next one?
This one's no, it's still like its own separate universe, but think of like how Marvel did the Ultimate Universe. That's basically all Absolute is. It's just basically like the Ultimate Universe, where they take characters that already existed and they take their origins and they just kind of flip it on its fucking head. That's basically all it is. It's just basically they just basically did like the Ultimate Universe type thing. Like it's actually really fucking good. I thought it was gonna be trash. I honestly thought the book was gonna be fucking trash. And I actually gave it a chance, and I was actually fucking surprised with how good the fucking writing was.
Well, the thing is like, I fully believe you, and I'm sure all that stuff is great. The question is, how long before their big new idea suddenly starts to avalanche into a series of bad ideas?
I'm still waiting for that to happen because right
now
that's
what they do a lot. They have a good opening, and then their ending kind of just, and then as the ending starts to collapse, they're like, okay, what's our new good opening? And they've done that almost 4 times in a row now, and it's like, DC, enough. Give me a good 5-6 year universe that I can follow. That's what I'm after. I don't need a 2-year universe. I need a good 6-year universe.
Yeah, I think those are supposed to be like little, like, you know how they do like those little books where like you temporarily get into those universes, like it's basically like an Elseworld story. That's pretty much all it is from my understanding. I still fuck with it. I still think it's pretty good because right now I don't really see anything right now that DC's really doing right now that's even decent. I might get into Justice League Unlimited because I read a little bit of that first issue. It's off to a decent start, but we'll see. It's one of those only time will tell. So I'm slowly dipping my feet into that. But like, yeah, between that book, I don't know which book was better out of that Absolute series. I'm not gonna say automatically Batman, even though Batman was fucking badass, but Wonder Woman was just on some other shit. Like they might as well make Wonder Woman like fucking Ghost Rider or some shit with how that fucking book was. And then Superman surprised me. I thought that was gonna be fucking trash, and surprisingly, that was actually pretty good. And I know they're supposed to be doing Absolute Flash, and this Flash is actually going to be Wally West instead of Barry Allen in this universe. So I kind of want to see where they're going to go with that. Now I don't know. Have you been hearing anything about the Ultimate Marvel series, the new Ultimate series?
I have been out of the comic book reading game for almost 2 years now. Like when I moved to Dallas, I just couldn't afford comics anymore, and I was like,
No worry about it. I got you covered, man. When I got off this live, I got you covered on. I got you a channel that'll get you covered on, because the dude does a good job breaking it down. I can tell you right now, Ultimate Black Panther started good, and then that issue 12 was a fucking letdown. I wanted to like throw something. I wanted to take a freaking solid object and throw it at the fucking wall when that issue came out. Because it was like this whole buildup of T'Challa getting ready to fight Moon Knight or Khonshu, and not only was it the biggest fucking letdown, I wanted to break stuff. That's how bad that letdown was. But I will say this, Ultimate Spider-Man is actually getting really fucking good. It's getting pretty fucking intense right now. That's getting good. The new Ultimate issue they just did the origin on Luke Cage. That one you might want to check out because it's an interesting one. It's interesting. And what's crazy is the issue came out just in time for Black History Month too. That's the fucking hilarious part. But yeah, and then I just read Ultimate Wolverine not too long ago. That was some bro. That was a good start for Ultimate Wolverine. That was a good start. Long story short, he killed like two. He killed an X-Men member, and then he killed one member of the Brotherhood of Mutants. Even though that universe is like altered because of the fucking Maker, but anyway, yeah, it was fucking crazy. It was a pretty intense book, but I got you covered on that shit, man. If you're interested, let me know. I got you covered. So that way you don't got to go out and waste your money on the comic books. Like,
well, that'd be nice to be able to, cause yeah, dude, like, you know me, I'm a physical media guy. I still buy DVDs. I still do that stuff. Like, I like being able to hold something in my hand. And the thing about a physical comic book that I always tell people is, as long as you back and board it, that comic book will always have a value of $1.
Facts.
Versus the digital shit you get, its value is gone immediately. You pay to get the entertainment value, and you're done.
Yep, and that's what I'm saying. With that, I would at least get that to you, so that way, if you want to spend the money on it, go for it. If not, you have that.
Yeah, because I know you did that for me with because I was very, very considering getting the Bishop one a few years ago. I was like, oh, Bishop, issue 1, hell yeah. And then I started looking at because I only focused on Bishop in the middle. I started looking, I'm like, why are all of the X-Men black? Jean Grey isn't black.
Yeah, and then I'm like, aren't you glad that I freaking sent you the shit so that way you can actually read it and get the full context?
Yeah, and that's the thing. When like one of your black friends who's very pro black is like, maybe read this first. It's like, oh,
yeah, that's what I was trying to tell you too. I was trying to tell you the same thing. You might want to read it first before you buy it, bro. Because I was thinking the same thing when I read it. I was like, dude, what the fuck even is this? It just, I was split with that book. I'm gonna be honest. I was split. I was 100% split on that one. I couldn't tell you if I liked it, if I hated it. Like, yeah, there was things about it I liked, and then there was things about it I just couldn't fucking stand. You know?
Here's my thing. I'd be more inclined to accept a black Jean Grey if we could get a white Bishop.
That's fair.
Like every chessboard has a white Bishop, 2 of them, in fact. How come we don't get one?
I see what you did there. Fucking crazy, bro. That's filthy fucking work, man. Shit. But anyway, man. Yeah, anything else you want to freaking that you feel like we need to cover, or are we pretty much good? You let me know, brother, because you already know me. I can talk all day.
I feel like we did it. It was like Rob Liefeld. He's a great artist, but he can be a little bit of a loudmouth. He can get in his own way. Nevertheless, he still has some. He has some good points every once in a while.
But
and from
at the end of the day,
right, and from that point on, it's just like I feel like Marvel and DC are both letting us down right now.
As far as the entertainment part, yeah, I at this point I'm gonna just be honest, man. DC needs a W right now. They need a W right now.
And here's the thing, DC used to always win on their animated stuff. But there's no good animated movies coming down the pike.
Yeah, because right now what they're doing is they're trying to incorporate the animated stuff to be tie-ins with the main DC universe, which is what James Gunn was trying to do. So I don't know, man. Only time will tell. In my opinion, I think some of the animated stuff should just be Elseworld stories, and it doesn't have to always tie in. But you know what? What the fuck ever? What the hell do we fucking know? We're just fucking comic book fans that don't know what the fuck we're talking about, and we don't know the climate. We don't have any connection when it comes to the actual modern day comic book readers. We don't know what the fuck we're talking about. So whatever. What the fuck do we know? That's all I gotta say.
Exactly right. Like we're just two guys who with opinions that relate to us and us only. And maybe some of y'all are gonna vibe with that. Maybe some of y'all aren't. And you know what? If you don't, we would love to hear a well constructed, not racist recant in the comment section.
Actually, you know what? That's not how I'm gonna end it. If that's how you really feel, that's all I gotta say to you.
Everyone on the roster, I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, I'd like to take this chance to apologize to absolutely nobody.
Seriously, I'm serious. I'm dead ass serious about that. If anything I said on here offended, if anything we said offended any of you guys, I ain't apologizing for shit. I said what the fuck I said, and I'm gonna fucking stand on it.
I apparently am also going to stand on it because that's what we're doing today.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, Johnny has his opinions on shit. I have my opinion on shit, and at the end of the day, we're still cool with it. We're still me and him are still cool with each other because at the end of the day, you notice we don't agree on everything. We don't agree on everything, but at the end of the day, this is still one of my homies. At the end of the day,
and at the end of the day, this is still the stuff we love.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
You know, when it's Star Wars, Marvel, DC, it's like we all love this stuff. We might love it for different reasons, different ways, different this, different that. It's like, dude, are you a Marvel guy? Yeah, so am I. Or do you love DC? Yes, so do I. Do you enjoy anime? So do all of us. So, like, you know what? We're gonna have differences. Maybe you love this more than that, etc. Can we all agree that we're nerds and that as nerds we're in the nerd community? Because I don't view it as us against each other. I view it as like us against anybody who thinks our stuff doesn't belong.
Yep. Well said, man. Well said. And just before I go ahead and close it out, let me just kind of get this out the way because it's something I've been wanting to say for a while. I know a lot of times when we talk nerd stuff, we always talk this whole thing. Oh, who would win between this superhero and this superhero? Who would win between this character and this character? Well, at the end of the day, I hate to say it, there's really no right or wrong answer because Stan Lee said it best. The winner of these fights is usually determined by the writer. And I'm just going to end with that. So with that fucking said, man, we're going to get the fuck out of here, dude. Because I've been on here for like, what, hour and 30 minutes? And I got shit to take care of. And I know Johnny got shit to take care of. With this, we got to do grown-up shit. I'm going to try to start getting more into doing these lives more often on Saturday. I know I haven't really been consistent lately because I've been in the process of getting ready to move. So just getting that whole process over done with has been kind of a bitch. So try to do my best to be as consistent with these lives as I can. I'll try to make more time to do these lives. With that said, you got any final words, Johnny, before I close this out?
Let's just remember we're all nerds on the same team.
Yep. Well said. That being said, this is Dark Stars, my boy Johnny. We out this bitch. Peace.